Hey guys, it's Mikexingchen. Most kids, like me and most of you, we were told by our parents and a lot of other people that, yeah, we're special and that there's really no one in the world more precious and unique than each one of us. And a few of us, and I mean very few of us, have even been described and labeled as an indigo child, which is supposedly on a whole different level. Now, not everyone really understands what the term indigo child even means. So in this video, we're gonna step into the strange world of these indigo children in order to learn more about them and how they're being recognized as such in our world today. So first of all, what is an indigo child? Well, an indigo child essentially pertains to a gifted child believed to possess certain special and unusual abilities and traits that may be of the supernatural or spiritual in nature. So basically like a little X-Men. I mean, they don't have claws coming out of their hands where they can't shoot lasers out of their eyes, they can't fly, but they're going along that path. And it is believed that the existence of an indigo child is proof that mankind has achieve the next stage of human evolution, since children who are labeled as such allegedly have the instinctive ability to access humanity's collective consciousness. And being so, well, enlightened at such a tender age, they are supposedly born with psychic powers like telepathy and precognition. They are also thought to be very in tune with their own feelings and show far more empathy towards others when compared to most people. But beyond these unusual abilities, indigo children are said to be very creative and intuitive as well. Now let's talk a little bit about the origin of the term indigo child. The idea that people are born with paranormal abilities is not something that sprung into public consciousness only a few decades ago. Mankind has been dabbling with the supernatural all the way back to our ancient past. But the term indigo child was started around the 1970s, and its originator was a parapsychologist and self-proclaimed psychic named Nancy Ann Tapp, who claimed to have the ability to perceive people's personality, color, or auras. And during the 1960s and 70s, Tapp allegedly started to notice that more and more children were being born with indigo colored auras. That's why in the 1980s, she published a book titled Understanding Your Life Through Color, wherein she introduced the idea that every individual has their own life color. This meant that from the moment people are born and until the day they die, their auras constantly emanate a single color. And supposedly knowing the color of a person's aura is enough to psychologically profile them. Now, the phenomenon of indigo children became more popular after American channeler and self-help author Lee Carroll and his wife Jan Tolbert published a book titled The Indigo Children, The New Kids Have Arrived. And since then, more books have been written about the phenomena, and a couple of films have also been produced and released which tackle the subject of indigo children. Conferences have also been held all over the US to raise awareness and educate the public about it. And apparently it's all led by this guy. Anyway, not everyone has the ability to see people's auras, obviously, so identifying indigo children might be next to impossible for people who really can't see aura. However, experts on the subject do claim that indigo children have certain characteristics that set them completely apart from the rest. And if parents want to know if their sons or daughters are indeed among these gifted youths, they need to be really attentive toward the behaviors and attitudes exhibited by their kids so that you could determine if their children, well, is an indigo child. So let me go through some of these characteristics. First of all, indigo children supposedly have very defined sense of self and purpose. They are very confident about themselves, inherently self-entitled. So maybe spoiled? I don't know. They don't need to be told by anyone that they are special. They just know they're special. Again, sounds like a spoiled kid. But supposedly, not only do they believe that it is their destiny to be born into this world, they're also convinced that they deserve to be here. And because of this, some indigo children expect others to acknowledge their uniqueness and even revere them for it. So first characteristic, just a really spoiled kid. Next, at a very early age, indigo children are very strong-willed, sometimes to the point of being too headstrong. They have their own way of doing things, and they usually care very little about others' expectations of them. And this makes them very resilient to the rigid rules imposed on them by authority figures. They don't blindly do what they're told, because what they're being told to do really has to make sense to them first before they follow it. And this is why some of them don't really function too well in a typical school setting. So yeah, I'm hearing spoiled brat and really rebellious. Next up, they may struggle with performing well in school because indigo children allegedly have very high intelligence, but because they are right-brain dominant, their creative thinking does not really mesh well with traditional school systems, which are geared more towards left-brain thinkers. Indigo children are also very perceptive and inherently intuitive. They see things differently from the rest and are very curious about the ways of the world. They also seem to know things in mysterious ways that regular people are not able to. They can predict things that others usually cannot foresee. They are far more mature than people of their age and possess valuable wisdom that would impress those who are twice or even 3 times as old as them. Like I mentioned before, these children are also believed to possess amazing psychic abilities. They may be able to see the aura of living beings and also able to see into the future. They may also be telepaths and have this strange ability to see through lies and deception. Also, because of their curious nature and their supernatural powers, they are also very spiritual, which does not necessarily mean that they're adherent to the dogma of a specific religion. They're just really open-minded to various religious and spiritual practices and are willing to adopt whatever is constructive to their self-fulfillment. These children also tend to feel out of place in society, which leads people to view them as really antisocial. And they're usually diagnosed with something like attention deficit disorder or ADHD, even autism. So definitely this kid and this kid. Anyway, at the end of the day, there's really nothing wrong in believing in things that are not explainable by logic and rational thinking. Now, do I believe that indigo children exist? I'm not sure. I do believe that certain kids are born and what they do, the things they know, the things they say are really not explainable. Like sometimes kids are born and they remember past lives. Sometimes kids are born and by the age they're 11, they're going to Harvard. So maybe there are such people who could be identified as maybe indigo children. And maybe they do have strange and incredible abilities that could change the world for the better. Maybe their unique insight to everything is just what we need for all of us to reach the next stage of human evolution. But let me know what you guys think. Do you believe indigo children exist? Do you believe that we are approaching that point where we are evolving as a species? I mean, is the human and mutant warfare on the horizon? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.